But I'm going to make some comments about research. For example, cluster training. Cluster training is a method used by weightlifters for a long time. If I waited for research, so if you do conventional training for weightlifters, you do, let's say, 6 sets of 3, and you use about 90% of your max. The guy who came up with cluster training said, let's take the same percentage of max, let's do 5 sets of 5, but in between the reps, we'll rest 10 to 15 seconds. And in the February issue of 2008 of the Journal of the JSSR, they showed, the title was Cluster Training, an Innovative Approach to Training. Innovative. Okay. I learned it in 1978. Okay. I found the first paper, the first article on it was from a book from Carl Miller in 1975. Please don't take pictures of the screen. So I checked around. I asked the guy who taught me, where'd you learn it? He says, in Paris at the World Championships. When? 1968. Okay. Then I did more investigating. It comes out from Bulgaria in 1948. Okay. So that's 60 years before the research came out. Does that make sense? So if I waited for the research to use that, I started using it in 78 to prepare somebody for the Moscow Olympic Games. So I would have been 30 years late to use it, but it took 60 years before it showed up, okay? So Lyn Jones said this. He's the guy who produced the gold medalist for the U.S. in weightlifting. Sports scientists are at best sport historians. You tell you 60 years later why the program who won the gold medal worked, okay? So that's why I'm not so big on people saying, well, there's a study that does this, a study that does that. Hey, fuck, they use the beginners and the program's a wussy program. And they're not motivated, so I don't give a shit about studies, okay? I prefer experience. So in 1978, I was talking to Mauro Di Pasquale. He said, I was only 17 years old. I asked him, Mauro, you know, why is there such a variation? And he gave me this line. Your best advice only applies to 70% of the population. There's many outliers. So it comes to the next principle, which is this. Look at the extremes. The middle will take care of itself.